Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. So, I just finished watching Halloween Town 4. Yep, Halloween Town 4, Return to Halloween Town. And if you look at the grand picture, like, okay, Calibar's son, the big bad from part 3, and in 4, it's all one big story. If you look at the grand scheme of Halloween Town, it's essentially Monty and her family exposing the members of the Dominion. Now, as a kid, growing up with these movies, you don't really see it at first. But now that I have grown up and watched it with my oldest nephew and hopefully my youngest nephew and the rest of my nephews and nieces, hopefully and nieces. Honestly, the whole theme is good. Like, the whole plot of the entire plot of the DCOM franchise that is Halloween Town is a family exposing and taking down the Dominion, which we don't really see or really hear of or hear about until, like, Return to Halloween Town. But it actually makes sense if you look at it. Aggie, you have Aggie played by Debbie Ryan, the late Debbie Ryan. We have the mother of Monty and them. Played by the actress who played April in the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, which is a good movie, by the way. And we have Marnie and her siblings teaming up to right the wrongs, essentially right the wrongs, and help bring two worlds, two dimensions, I can't stress that enough, together in perfect harmony. And literally, it's a good plot. It's something that really hasn't been done before, and it really hasn't been done since. I mean, they tackle a lot of themes. And that's what makes Halloween Town, that's what makes the Halloween Town movies such a beloved classic that no matter how old you are, you can find the simplicity behind the wonders of what life has got hidden. And it hasn't been done. If you think about it, the formula has been right in front of us the whole entire time. And that's the beauty of Halloween Town. Now, I did say that Halloween Town could be in the quantum realm, if you think about it. Because there's a portal, right? There has to be a portal somewhere. There has to be some way of getting in and out, which they don't really explain well. But with the powerful Cromwell family line being so powerful, going back to like the Merlins, which the Cromwells are related to Merlin, so that does give them some powerful leeway, I guess, because they are distant cousins of Merlin. And we don't really know how many, how big the Merlin family bloodline is. And that's also an interesting thing to discover, to unlock, to see how truly big is the Merlin bloodline. We've only seen one part of the bloodline, and that's the Cromwells. What if we see a different family member of the Merlin bloodline? How would that factor into the Halloween Town franchise? Maybe, just maybe, see the Cromwell's cousins, Marnie's cousins, that we haven't seen before. That could be an interesting thing to see the full bloodline of the Cromwells. And that could be interesting. Now, there's going to, there's a lot of things you could do with it. You could for like the second, if they do decide to do 5, 6, 7, and 8, you could do 4 movies about the cousins of Marnie and go from there. And maybe by the next 4, revisit the Comwells and catch up with what they are doing. It's not a bad idea. I mean, for example, a similar thing is going on with the Karate Kid. They're essentially Cobra Kai is essentially a continuation from the first 3 movies, catching up with the first 2, the original actors, the bad guy and the good guy from the early days of the Karate Kid franchise. It's still there, and like, as long as there's heart and passion behind the franchise, you got the golden ticket for success, baby. You literally have the golden ticket for success, but it has to be done well and right. Also, you must have passion and love for the franchise. Like, also, you're pretty much, there's so much you can do. Like, for example, Charmed, the Charmed reboot. They're doing a similar thing too. They're expanding the universe, the magical side of Charmed, by showing different witches from a different part of the United States. It's decades, almost a decade, or like a decade and 2, maybe 3, after the original Charmed series ended. I mean, it's there, and if you don't like the new Charmed series, that's fine. If you don't like what they do with how they do if you don't, I had a thing, my phone's getting low at 10%, so I figured, probably better to be safe than sorry. Plug it in. It was at 10%, so I was like, yeah, thanks. Gotta charge it, thanks. But anyways, if you don't like, if this may sound bizarre and like totally nonsense, if you don't like what they do, as long as you feel like the passion and love is there for the franchise, then you're okay. We would be better off, you know. But also, you also have to we also have to understand that sometimes one looking at one point of view, looking at one side of things isn't always better. Sometimes we need to expand. We sometimes it's better to see what other things are going on behind the scenes and the true ringleader, you know? And that's what makes Halloween Town, all 4 Halloween Towns work in such a way that we haven't seen since Halloween Town 4. And if you truly if you truly look at where Halloween Town started with we are introduced to Monty being a 13-year-old girl who just wants to have fun and be with her friends and go trick-or-treating and dress up, and her mom is like, no, this is I don't want you to be a part of the thing because, I just don't want you to, and Debbie Ryan, who plays Aggie, comes in and just is like, she's 13. She's almost out of the house. She's a witch. She needs to be free. She needs to let loose. You just gotta let loose, just a bit. And she's like, yeah, I understand. She's probably like, yeah, I understand. You just lost your husband, which they don't explain why he died or what happened, really. That never really gets explained either. All we know is that he was in the picture and he just got Thanos snapped. Maybe, probably, I don't really know. It's just, it all comes together in a cycle. The first 3 movies, the first 2, the first 3, if you look at the grand scheme, Calabar, right? Big Bad wants to take over, rule Halloween Town, and wants to essentially take over Halloween Town and change Halloween Town and change the Halloween Towners from good to evil. Go backwards, Calabar's son wants to turn the Halloween Towners into humans and the humans into Halloween Towners in the human world, which is an interesting, cohesive sequel that fits directly into that flows back to back. And in Halloween Town 3 and 4, we get we start to piece together the Dominion, the bad guys, who truly is really pulling the strings. And it's literally the Dominion, a secret society of Halloween Towners who essentially want to take over Halloween Town and change the Halloween Towners, use Halloween Towners for their own nefarious purposes. And they almost get away with it, but they get stopped immediately in every single movie that we have seen so far. Halloween Town 1. The Commonwealths stop Calabar. Mayor Calabar. The family in Halloween Town 2, Calabar's Revenge. They stop the sun from turning the Halloween Towners human and turning humans into Halloween Towners at midnight. It all correlates at midnight. Everything happens around midnight, and midnight is one of the most powerful times, I believe, when magic is at its strongest. I'm no wizard, I'm no warlock, I'm no witch. I have none of that. To be honest, I really don't. And in Halloween Town 3, it's about fear. Going back to the old way of how the world used to be. And racism. That's truly what Halloween Town 3 is a story about racism and going backwards in the old way of thinking. And the human, it's by the end of the final few minutes, humans are like, you know what? Monsters aren't that bad. They're just like me and you, They work 9-to-5 jobs. They go to school. They have kids. However they have kids, They have heart, And, they have lives. They have personalities. And Debbie Ryan makes a really good point. Monsters and humans are one of the same. They all have feelings. They all have personality, There are some good, there are some bad. There's some evil, crazy people. There are some crazy, evil monsters who just want fear and power, And there are some in between, and there are others who are in the middle, who don't associate with the good, the bad. Same thing with the humans. There are some bad people, there are some good people, and there are others who are in the middle, who don't associate with the good or the bad. You know? But the main theme of Halloween Town 3 is essentially racism, but for and with monsters, and that's what makes Halloween Town 3 a good sequel to Halloween Town 2 and 1. And they wrap Halloween Town, they wrap the one perspective of the Halloween Town franchise with Halloween Town 4, Return to Halloween Town, with discovering your history, knowing your family bloodline, and being what it means to go off to college, live your own life, and whatnot, so on and so forth, you know, and that's pretty much what it is. It's just another coming of age movie, but without high school antics, without high school drama, without dealing with the whole high school shenanigans or whatever you want to call it. But also, it's about discovering family, who you are, and what you... I could be wrong. It could, and discovering how deep your bloodline is, and dealing with the whole prophecy thing. Yes, the prophecy thing is a main part, but they don't focus heavily on the prophecy part. The prophecy part does play a factor in it, but essentially, Marnie's prophecy. Marnie is the prophecy. If you think about it, it all centers around Marnie. Marnie is the great powerful witch. And you can call me crazy, call me whatever, but I honestly do believe that Halloween Town does reside in the quantum realm, or, you know, a different realm, you know, that could necessarily be next door to Coventry. But I will touch upon that later, because there's a lot of things that I have to touch upon when I get into my Disney, Fox, Universal, Sony multiverse / connection fan theory. But I'm not there yet. I still got the Arrowverse to do and whatnot. That's taking space of its own. But anyways, it's a good movie. It's a fantastic franchise. I hope you guys look at this franchise and see how big the world is when it comes to Disney witches and whatnot, you know. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys so far. Please like, share, subscribe, and have a good day. Thanks. Bye.